Hi, welcome back to Top 10 TV. Today, you're about to witness a terrifying and most dangerous places on Earth. Stay tuned and enjoy. But before we continue, don't forget to click subscribe, like, turn on notification and share. At number 10. The Death Road. The Yungas Road is a cycle route about 60 kilometers long which links the city of La Paz in the Yungas region of Bolivia. It draws about 25,000 tourists per year, and is a major La Paz tourist attraction. Many tour operators cater to downhill mountain biking, providing information, guides, transport and equipment. At least 18 cyclists have died on the road since 1998. The tourist route is a 64-kilometer long road with 3,500 meters of descent. The route includes the Cotapa to Santa Barbara section. It replaced the old road, built in 1930. It was considered dangerous because of its steep slopes, narrow single track, lack of guardrails, rain, and fog, and was nicknamed the Road of Death. However, it was not the most dangerous road in the region. Unlike the rest of the country, traffic was left-hand, to allow the driver to assess the distance of their outer wheel from the edge of the road. A new alternative route was built during a 20-year period ending in 2006. The modernization included enlarging the carriageway from 1 to 2 lanes, asphalt paving, bridges, drainage, guardrails, and the building of a new section between Chusquipata and Yolosa, bypassing the most dangerous sections of the original road. Number 9. Snake Island. Ilha de Queimada Grande, also known as Snake Island, is an island off the coast of Brazil in the Atlantic Ocean. It is administered as part of the municipality of Itaiá in the state of São Paulo. The island is small in size, only 43 hectares, 106 acres, and has a temperate climate. The island's terrain varies considerably, ranging from bare rock to rainforest. It is the only home of the critically endangered, venomous Bothrops insularis, or golden lancehead pit viper, which has a diet of birds. The snakes became trapped on the island when rising sea levels covered up the land that connected it to the mainland. The ensuing selection pressure allowed the snakes to adapt to their new environment, increasing rapidly in population and rendering the island dangerous to public visitation. Queimada Grande is closed to the public in order to protect both people and the snake population. Access is only available to the Brazilian Navy and selected researchers vetted by the Chico Mendes Institute for Biodiversity Conservation. The Brazilian Federal Conservation Unit. Ilha de Queimada Grande has a variety of vegetation. The island is partly covered in rainforest and partly bare rock and grassy cleared areas, a result of deforestation. The deforestation is the origin of the island's name. The term queimada, in Portuguese, means burnt because when locals attempted to clear land for a banana plantation on the island, they had to clear rainforest using this technique. A lighthouse was constructed in 1909 to steer ships away from the island. The last human inhabitants left the island when the lighthouse was automated. Number 8. Lake Natron. Lake Natron is a salt or soda lake in Arusha region in Tanzania. It is in the Gregory Rift, which is the eastern branch of the East African Rift. The lake is within the Lake Natron Basin, a Ramsar site wetland of international significance. The lake is fed principally by the southern Uasin-Gisiro River, which rises in central Kenya, and by mineral-rich hot springs. It is quite shallow, less than 3 meters deep, and varies in width depending on its water level. The lake is a maximum of 57 kilometers long and 22 kilometers wide. The surrounding area receives irregular seasonal rainfall, mainly between December and May totaling 800 millimeters per year. Temperatures at the lake are frequently above 40 degrees Celsius, 104 degrees Fahrenheit. High levels of evaporation have left behind natron, sodium carbonate decahydrate, and trona, sodium sesquicarbonate dihydrate. The alkalinity of the lake can reach a pH of greater than 12. The surrounding bedrock is composed of alkaline, sodium-dominated trachyte lavas that were laid down during the Pleistocene period. The lavas have significant amounts of carbonate, but very low calcium and magnesium levels. This has allowed the lake to concentrate into a caustic alkaline brine. There are a number of campgrounds near the lake, which is also the base for climbing Old Doinho Lanai. Lake Natron has immense tourist attraction potentials that are important for ecotourism development. However, lack of a general management plan, inadequate funding at the operational level, lack of mechanisms to secure a fair distribution of ecotourism benefits, and poorly developed tourism infrastructural facilities to support diverse segments of tourists were identified as the main challenges associated with the management of ecotourism in the area. Number 7. Oymyakon, Russia. Oymyakon is a rural locality in Oymyakonsky district of the Sakha Republic, Russia, located along the Indigirka River, 30 kilometers northwest of Tomtar on the Kolyma Highway. It is one of the coldest permanently inhabited settlements on Earth. It is named after the Oymyakon River, whose name reportedly comes from the even word Kyum, meaning unfrozen patch of water, place where fish spend the winter. However, another source states that the even word Hayam, maybe a misspelling, means frozen lake. It has two main valleys beside it. These valleys trap wind inside the town and create the colder climate. The temperatures here are extremely cold throughout the year, and it snows frequently. Schools are closed if it is colder than -55.0 degrees Celsius. During World War II, an airfield was built in the district of Aeroport, for the Alaska-Siberian air route, used to ferry American Lend-Lease aircraft to the Eastern Front. Over the last few decades, the population of Oymyakon has shrunk significantly. The village had a peak population of roughly 2,500 inhabitants, but that number has decreased to fewer than 900 in 2018. Although winters in Oymyakon are long and extremely cold, summers are mild to warm, sometimes hot. The warmest month on record is July 2010, with an average temperature of over 18.7 degrees Celsius. In June, July and August temperatures over 30 degrees Celsius are not rare during the day. On July 28, 2010, Oymyakon recorded a record high temperature of 34.6 degrees Celsius, yielding a temperature range of 102.3 degrees Celsius. Verkhoyansk, Yakutsk, Delayankar, and Fort Vermilion, Canada are the only other known places in the world that have a temperature amplitude higher than 100 degrees Celsius. Number 6. Death Valley. Death Valley is a desert valley in eastern California, in the northern Mojave Desert, bordering the Great Basin Desert. It is one of the hottest places on Earth, along with deserts in the Middle East and the Sahara. Death Valley's Badwater Basin is the point of lowest elevation in North America, at 282 feet below sea level. It is 84.6 miles east-southeast of Mount Whitney, the highest point in the contiguous United States, with an elevation of 14,505 feet. On the afternoon of July 10, 1913, the United States Weather Bureau recorded a high temperature of 134 degrees Fahrenheit at Furnace Creek in Death Valley, which stands as the highest ambient air temperature ever recorded at the surface of the Earth. Lying mostly in Inyo County, California, near the border of California and Nevada, in the Great Basin, east of the Sierra Nevada mountains, Death Valley constitutes much of Death Valley National Park and is the principal feature of the Mojave and Colorado Deserts Biosphere Reserve. It runs from north to south between the Amargosa Range on the east and the Panamint Range on the west. The Grapevine Mountains and the Owl's Head Mountains form its northern and southern boundaries, respectively. It has an area of about 3,000 square miles. The highest point in Death Valley is Telescope Peak, in the Panamint Range, which has an elevation of 11,043 feet. Death Valley is home to the Timbisha tribe of Native Americans, formerly known as the Panamint Shoshone, who have inhabited the valley for at least the past millennium. The Timbisha name for the valley, Tompisa, means rock paint and refers to the red ochre paint that can be made from a type of clay found in the valley. Some families still live in the valley at Furnace Creek. Another village was in Grapevine Canyon, near the present site of Scotty's Castle. It was called in the Timbisha language Mahunu, whose meaning is uncertain, although it is known that Hunu means canyon. Number 5. Skeleton Coast. The Skeleton Coast is the northern part of the Atlantic coast of Namibia and south of Angola, from the Kunene River south to the Swakop River, although the name is sometimes used to describe the entire Namib Desert coast. The Bushmen of the Namibian interior called the region the land God made in anger, while Portuguese sailors once referred to it as the Gates of Hell. On the coast, the upwelling of the cold Benguela current gives rise to dense ocean fogs, called Kasimbo, by the Angolans, for much of the year. The winds blow from land to sea. Rainfall rarely exceeds 10 mm annually, and the climate is highly inhospitable. There is a constant heavy surf on the beaches. In the days before engine-powered ships and boats, it was possible to get ashore through the surf but impossible to launch from the shore. The only way out was by going through a marsh hundreds of miles long and only accessible via hot and arid desert. The coast is largely soft sand, occasionally interrupted by rocky outcrops. The southern section consists of gravel plains, while north of Terrace Bay, the landscape is dominated by high sand dunes. Skeleton Bay is now known as a great location for surfing. The area's name derives from the whale and seal bones that once littered the shore from the whaling industry, although in modern times the coast harbors the skeletal remains of the shipwrecks caught by offshore rocks and fog. More than 1,000 such vessels of various sizes litter the coast, notably, the Edward Bullen, Benguela Eagle, Otavi, Dunedin Star, and Tongtaw. The name Skeleton Coast was coined by John Henry Marsh as the title for the book he wrote chronicling the shipwreck of the Dunedin Star. Since the book was first published in 1944, it has become so well known that the coast is now generally referred to as Skeleton Coast, and is given that as its official name on most maps today. Number 4. Danakil Desert. The Danakil Desert is a desert in northeast Ethiopia, southern Eritrea, and northwestern Djibouti. Situated in the Afar Triangle, it stretches across 136,956 square kilometers of arid terrain. The area is known for its volcanoes and extreme heat, with daytime temperatures surpassing 50 degrees Celsius. Less than an inch of rainfall occurs each year. The Danakil Desert is one of the lowest and hottest places on Earth. It is inhabited by a few Afar, who engage in salt mining. Local geology is characterized by volcanic and tectonic activity, various climate cycles, and discontinuous erosion. The basic geological structure of this area was caused by the movement of tectonic plates, as Africa moved away from Asia. Mountain chains formed and were eroded again during the Paleozoic. Inundations by the sea caused the formation of layers of sandstone, and limestone was deposited further offshore. As the land rose again, further sandstone formed above the limestone. Further tectonic shifts caused lava to pour out of cracks and cover the sedimentary deposits. The Danakil Desert has a number of lakes formed by lava flows that dammed up several valleys. Among these is Lake Afrera, which has thick saline crusts on its banks. Other areas of the Danakil became sinks, dry endorheic basins as precipitation evaporates faster than it can collect in permanent lakes. The area is flanked toward the east by the Danakil Alps, a tabular mountain system that has a few volcanic cones which peak in height in Mount Ramelow 7,000 feet. A deposit of salt up to 800 meters thick can also be found in the Salt Plain flatlands. Other local lakes include Lake Assail 381 feet below sea level and Lake Geleti/Afrera 260 feet below sea level, both of which possess crypto depressions in the Danakil Depression. The Afrera contains many active volcanoes, including the Marajo, Dabahu, Uftra, and Erdeal. Number 3. Gates of Hell. The Darvaza gas crater, also known as the Door to Hell or Gates of Hell, is a natural gas field collapsed into a cavern located in Derwaz, Turkmenistan. Geologists intentionally set it on fire to prevent the spread of methane gas, and it is thought to have been burning continuously since 1971. The gas crater has a total area of 5,350 square meters. Its diameter is 69 meters, and its depth is 30 meters. The Turkmen government hopes that the crater will become a popular tourist attraction. The surrounding area is also popular for wild desert camping. According to Turkmen geologist Anatoly Bushmakin, the site was identified by Soviet engineers in 1971. It was originally thought to be a substantial oil field site. The engineers set up a drilling rig and operations to assess the quantity of oil available at the site. Soon after the preliminary survey found a natural gas pocket, the ground beneath the drilling rig and camp collapsed into a wide crater and was buried. Expecting dangerous releases of poisonous gases from the cavern into nearby towns, the engineers considered it advisable to burn the gas off. It was estimated that the gas would burn out within a few weeks, but it has instead continued to burn for 49 years and is expected to keep on burning. The early years of the crater's history are uncertain. Local geologists say the collapse into a crater happened in the 1960s, and the gases were not set on fire until the 1980s. There are, however, no records available of either the Soviet or Turkmen version of events. Number 2. North Sentinel Island. North Sentinel Island is one of the Andaman Islands, an archipelago in the Bay of Bengal which also includes South Sentinel Island. It is home to the Sentinelese, an indigenous people in voluntary isolation who have rejected, often violently, any contact with the outside world. They are among the last tribal people to remain virtually untouched by modern civilization. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands Protection of Aboriginal Tribes Act of 1956 prohibits travel to the island and any approach closer than 5 nautical miles or 9.26 kilometers, in order to prevent the resident tribes people from contracting diseases, to which they have no immunity. The area is patrolled by the Indian Navy. Nominally, the island belongs to the South Andaman Administrative District, part of the Indian Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In practice, Indian authorities recognize the islanders' desire to be left alone and restrict their role to remote monitoring. They do not prosecute them for killing people. The island is a protected area of India. In 2018, the Government of India excluded 29 islands, including North Sentinel from the restricted area permit regime, until December 31, 2022, in a major effort to boost tourism. In November 2018, however, the government's Home Ministry stated that the relaxation of the prohibition was intended only to allow researchers and anthropologists, with pre-approved clearance to visit the Sentinel Islands. The Anj, one of the other indigenous peoples of the Andamans, were aware of North Sentinel Island's existence. Their traditional name for the island is Chia Daa Quoquaye. They also have strong cultural similarities with what little has been remotely observed amongst the Sentinelese. However, Anjas brought to North Sentinel Island by the British during the 19th century could not understand the Sentinelese language, so a significant period of separation is likely. Our number 1 most dangerous places on Earth. Madidi National Park. Madidi is a national park in the upper Amazon River basin in Bolivia. Established in 1995, it has an area of 18,958 square kilometers, and, along with the nearby protected areas Manurapi Heath, Apalabamba, and, across the border in Peru, the Manu Biosphere Reserve, Madidi is part of one of the largest protected areas in the world. Ranging from the glacier-covered peaks of the high Andes Mountains, to the tropical rainforests of the Tuichi River, Madidi and its neighbors are recognized as one of the planet's most biologically diverse regions. In particular, Madidi protects parts of the Bolivian Yungas and Bolivian montane dry forest ecoregions. Access to the Madidi National Park is from San Buenaventura, reached by crossing the Beni River by passenger ferry from Rurrenabaque. The local people who have migrated here from the Andean highlands speak the Quechua language. The park is home to indigenous groups including the Takanan and Esayagia, the closely related Tsimain and Mostan, and the voluntarily isolated Torimona. Some ecolodges are found in and around the Madidi National Park. The oldest and best known is Shalalan Ecolodge, in Shalalan on the Tuichi River, a successful community-based enterprise that generates significant economic benefits to indigenous communities. The climate is cold in the alpine region, temperate in areas of intermediate elevation, and tropical in the northern lowlands. The winds come predominantly from the north, and cold fronts from the south have little impact on the temperature of the Madidi region. The dry season coincides with the austral winter. The average annual temperature is 26 degrees Celsius, but varies greatly depending on the altitude. According to data from ASAN in 2002, in the region of Apala the annual rainfall is 716 mm, the rainy season is from October to March, and the dry season is from May to September. That's it for today. Thank you for watching Top 10 TV. For more videos please subscribe and put your comments below.